Hi guys, I am back at the ICC Academy after 2 days of covering matches in Sharjah. Well, tonight's the big one, India versus Pakistan in the Super 4 stage, and we will get to that in a while. But let's first look at what happened yesterday and day before. Pakistan first beat Hong Kong in Sharjah to qualify for the Super 4 stage, and then Afghanistan lost to Sri Lanka in its first Super 4 game yesterday. We'll talk about both matches briefly. Let's begin with what happened yesterday night, the Afghanistan-Sri Lanka game. It looked like a close affair until it wasn't. So credit to Sri Lanka for winning their first Super 4 game, and the bulk of the praise really should go to the death bowling. I know Gunathikala and Bhanuka Rajapaksa were brilliant in their cameos, but really the match was set up by their bowlers, because at one point it looked like Afghanistan would get 200 the way Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Nazibullah Zadran were playing, and it wasn't a very difficult wicket to bat on. It was the same pitch, we were told, it was used for Bangladesh and Afghanistan's game, although this, by Mohammad Nami's own admission, turned out to be a much better pitch to bat on. And just a couple of things here. Afghanistan did everything right. They were put in, they batted well. Of course, they were 15-20 runs short, but I feel they could have defended it, yes, easily. Two reasons: their bowling attack is conducive for these conditions, and second, Sri Lanka's batting, as well as it has done in the last two games, is still a bit iffy under pressure. But credit to them for not giving in to the pressure and getting the team over the line. Afghanistan, I think their ground fielding was really poor. Yesterday they dropped 2 catches. You cannot drop 2 catches, especially when you are up against a team that is gaining in confidence. Add to that the fact that Rashid Khan had an off day, didn't he? 39 runs in 4 overs for just 1 wicket. That's average by the lofty standards that Rashid has set. And let's not forget, Rashid bowled 1 over in the power play and he gave 17 runs, with Mendes hitting him for 2 consecutive sixes. That was, in many ways, the over where Sri Lanka made a statement. They hurt Afghanistan where it hurts the most, which is, by attacking the man who has been the face of Afghanistan cricket ever since it started its emergence, Rashid Khan. Now, you just cull out his figures. You cull out Rashid's figures from, say, the 5 top leagues where he plays: IPL, BBL, CPL, PSL, and Vitality Blast, and you'll see that his power play numbers are always worse off than his middle over numbers. He's someone who likes to bowl between overs 7 and 16. He has a better economy rate, better average, and more wickets in that phase. Perhaps he likes the idea of having a spread out field. He can control the game better that way. This was the first time Rashid was bowling in the power play, by the way, and it didn't go too well. It's possible that Mohammad Nami brought him on because Mujibur Rahman, who's been Afghanistan's go-to spinner so far in this Asia Cup, went wicketless in his first 2 overs, and there were 2 right-handers. So a leg spinner versus right-hander is always a good matchup because, well, the ball turns away from them. Didn't work out for Afghanistan, and I'm sure they will, look at addressing these areas and try and come back strongly, because their next 2 games are against big teams, India and Pakistan. They will be tested, and but all things said and done, it was a very good game of cricket. Moving on to Pakistan versus Hong Kong. Now, that was a proper rout. Pakistan thumped Hong Kong, bowled them out for 38 and waltzed into the Super 4 stage. That was again a wicket that was keeping low and slow. By the way, the 2 pitches that were used for the games, the 2 back-to-back games in Sharjah, were different in terms of the position of the pitch on the square, but were very similar in nature. The wickets in Sharjah had gotten better to bat on as the game has progressed. Of course, there's low bounce compared to Dubai. Say a ball that will here carry over the stumps because of the bounce in Sharjah will just crash into the stumps. So playing across the line is quite dangerous there, which is why, in fact, Mohammad Rizwan, who played really well against Hong Kong, tried to sweep a lot, but we didn't, overall, over the 2 games, sweeping wasn't exactly a preferred shot. You don't, it's hard to play across the line when the ball is keeping so low. You can't really tell the bounce. It's a two-paced nature of the pitch that was keeping the batters on their toes. But yeah, all in all, it was a pretty all-round convincing performance from Pakistan that saw them through to the next stage. Now, coming on to the big one, India versus Pakistan tonight. Both teams have been struck by injuries. Of course, Pakistan's long list now has Dahani's name in it. He's got a side strain. So it looks like Hassan Ali could get a game. He didn't play the last game against India. India, on the other hand, will miss the services of Ravindra Jadeja, who is also out injured. There's no official word yet on whether he will be available or not available for the T20 World Cup in Australia in October. Head coach Rahul Dravid has said that he is not ruling Jadeja out yet. So fingers crossed. But yes, tactically speaking, Pakistan played its last game in Sharjah where the wickets low and slow. In Dubai, it's much better. There's a lot more bounce. Here, the dimensions are very different. So all those things will come into play. Will be interesting to see if India do try a different opening combination. Given KL Rahul's struggle, because among the teams taking part in this Asia Cup, India's run rate in the power play is really on the lower side, and that is something they would like to work on. And given KL Rahul's struggles, it looks difficult at the moment for him to get off the blocks easily. So I wonder if Rishabh Pant could be tried in that opening position alongside Rohit Sharma, just to get India off to a flying start and also try a left-right pair in the power play. I'm not expecting too many big changes though in the playing 11 of both teams. It's an important match and they would want to go in with a settled 11. It's once again very hot, very humid in Dubai, but thankfully the dew has stayed away so far at both venues, and expect the same tonight as well. I'll be at the ground getting you live updates as we approach live action. Until then, thank you so much for watching.